jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. I mean, no negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS is the first in the building. Salute to everyone that's in the chat. I see you on deck. Samar Warren in the building. Peace and blessings, beloved. Salute to you, WCS certified. Stamp the like button and support the grind. You already know what it is. Christopher White on deck in the building. Salute WCS. It's time for some combat talk. Let's get it on. You already know. You already know. If you know, you know. You don't need to be told. Mike in the building. Salute WCS in the chat, fam. Salute to you, man. So let's get to a couple of things I want to get out the way first. Floyd Mayweather had an exhibition where for the first time, he basically felt some type of way about what a referee did. It's not like he had a issue with a referee. I mean, he hasn't had an issue with the referee. You know, we've seen Floyd in the ring before, you know, have some success. You know what I'm saying? With referees, especially when he was in there with Victor Ortiz, and the referee act like he all of a sudden had an acute case of cataracts and didn't see Floyd punch Victor Ortiz when he was looking off into the freaking bleachers because he felt bad about headbutting Floyd in the chin. You know what I'm saying? You know, another time is when, you know, he got hit low blow with Zab, and, you know, Floyd let out a squeal, and you know, the referee had to do what he had to do. So at this age in the game, you know, when you get older, you kind of have short temper, low tolerance. And I think that's what happened when we seen Floyd down there in his exhibition match. He's at a point when he has low tolerance right now, and he's pretty much doing things his way. So a referee made a call, and I've seen that referee in the ring before. I don't know why he was in there. This is real talk. That referee is a bit strange to me. I'm not gonna lie, cause he be breaking up fighters, man, barely letting them fight. He always got to be involved as if he's really in the fight himself. Man, just let the fighters fight. He probably unnerved Floyd Mayweather. But at the end of the day, that's the first time I've ever seen, you know, a fighter terminate a referee, embarrass him, and bring in another referee that was on standby. That's the first time I ever seen that done in my life. See, you know, I'm seeing some things happen in boxing that really don't help the sport any, because like I said, you always hear me say, and I hear people repeating it now. I hear people repeating it. They don't want to give me credit, and it's okay. Because deep down inside, I know I said it, that boxing is a part of the system, a part of a system. I hear people saying it, and they say that shit with freaking conviction. And I appreciate it. But when it comes to the education perspective, I know I said this shit. I've been saying it for a while. And, you know, there's some things that's happened in the system of boxing that just don't sit right with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of them. I'll say, man, that's a joke right there. That's an absolute joke. Real talk. Also, for the you haters that was saying that I was just putting up any kind of pictures when it comes to running them turns and freaking the 90s, and no, that's me in the front. Okay. And I not only did that overseas, but I did it here in the states too. That's when I was out off the grid. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to put that out there. It's not the first time I've shown this picture, but I cleaned it up a little bit. That's an 1100. You know what I'm saying? I used to drag big CC bikes to the turn through the turns. Yeah, I was that dude, man. I had a whole nother life before this shit right here. I've been all around the world. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that. There's a lot of areas people don't know. You know what I'm saying? That I've been, that I was a, people know me differently than what they know me on here. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's people that knew me for bikes that didn't know I knew nothing about combat sports. You know, those same people that I could say, well, they know me strictly for combat sports, didn't really know I rode bikes that heavy. And then you got people that didn't know I was in the weapons the well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just is what it is at the end of the day. But what I wanted to talk about is, you know, the newbies. You know what I'm saying? As we call them, the recruits. The recruits, as we call it in the Corps, when recruits are going through boot camp. We know within the system, there's no one holding these individuals accountable. I get it. When the time I was out there doing what I was doing, I'm talking about damn near every week. You know, it was fun. I learned a lot. I learned a lot being out there. So what you see me doing, you know what I'm saying, shut a gang before the fame, it's nothing to say this is negative or anything. It's just reminding the boxing community that tend to just focus on what you have going on right now. You can't. You know, because look, I'm gonna put it out there because I have it. I'm not using anybody else's shit. I'm putting it out there because I have it. I have the Jahi Tucker and Norman Jr., you know, sparring. You know what I'm saying? I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was there. One thing I liked about both of the coaches is that they didn't care if you recorded it. Right? They didn't care if you recorded it. Jahi's team and Norman's team, they didn't care if you recorded it. I just thought amongst a lot, you know, some gyms I go to, they'll sit up there, nah, no record, no record. Now more and more, sparring is coming out. So I'm like, you know, you deprive the boxing game of footage. Those individuals that just refuse to record sparring, you deprive them of footage, because that right there, it can allow a fighter to go back and look at what they was doing wrong in sparring with that particular person, improve. You know what I'm saying? It can allow other people, you know, other boxing fans who didn't know about that fighter to tune in and have some entertainment value to do content on it. But what I want to make pretty clear is that when you're privy to certain off the record events that happen in boxing, don't ever allow somebody to believe they have the control to convince you that it wasn't anything to brag about. Don't ever do that. If you in this content game to grow, don't ever let nobody that's part-time in it make you believe that what you did has minimal value. Don't ever believe it. Don't ever allow yourself to be disrespected like that. Now, I will say this because I can. It's a lot of boxers down here in the A will tell you they seen me. And probably the reason why, you know how people say viral this, viral that, because listen, I'm an older cat. I wasn't trying to be in the pictures. I wasn't trying to do all that shit. But I was around. Just because a nigga want to be hating, you know what I'm saying? Just because somebody don't like you for whatever reason, I don't take it no type of way, you know, that it reconstructs my day. I don't. Because I've seen worse in life, man. You know, people sit up here and tell you, all this shit like you supposed to be weak. But I've been places that I've seen worse. So the shit that I'm seeing here in boxing is pretty much what's been going on for a while. You know what I'm saying? All the backstabbing, cutthroat, and all that. People, look, it was people that was telling me, he said, man, I see what you got going on down there, just that and the other. They told me, y'all. They told me about trying to go heavy and go hard down here in Georgia. They told me, yo. They said, do not wrap yourself into a wormhole. You know what I'm saying? Expecting, these individuals that you're going hard for to goddamn give you credit. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing, how, some people do it so easily. Some fighters do it so easily. And the other ones feel like, oh, it's all about so-and-so trying to come up. Now, I'm talking about in early 50s, mid 50s, late 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really up here putting in work, and somebody wants to gauge how much credit they should give you for doing the work. They should gauge how much credit they want to give you, knowing that you've been out there. And I'm saying, I don't sweat it too much, but I will brag on myself if I need to. Like I done met some incredible people in my life. And what I see going on in boxing, people picking and choosing and only knowing you for WCS, they don't know you for anything else. One thing I know for sure, I know myself. And these cats, when they was telling me, say, man, don't be, don't let it suppress you. If you do for them, and then at any given moment, they try to turn their back on you for no damn reason, for something small. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, for something fucking small. Not only that, people going behind your back and freaking saying shit about you and trying to create something that they didn't even participate in getting you there. That's the wild part about it. That's the wild part about it. They're trying to talk about shit that they didn't even help you get to. A part of your travels that they didn't help you get to that point. But while you out here covering the boxing landscape, all it takes is one person. Man, I can do a documentary from what people have hit me on behind the scenes on what, this person is saying and that person is saying. They kind of try to tarnish what I got going on, because people know I was here in the A. They know I was covering fighters, but I also was covering fighters outside of the realm. You know what I'm saying? Look, nobody was shooting me super chats like that. They help pay for my travels. I never ask. People were seeing me in fights, and I go live every now and then, and they'll be like, "Oh man, I saw you over there. Oh, okay, damn, I saw you over here." It's people seeing me everywhere. They wasn't help donating to the cause. So if me as a man know that these same individuals that chose to say, "Well, this," let me take the perfect opportunity to start trying to shit on WCS as if he didn't do anything, or tell people, that, you want to have something negative to say, but they forget, right? they forget that I'm much older than the content creators out here. So my maturity level at the end of the day is certain areas that I don't have to visit with haste. I'm not in a hurry to go up here and chase this clout. I'm not. One thing that I have to put out there, traveling outside the state lines, is, I give salute to Team Tucker and them, the way they was able to help me out and treat me like family. Real talk. Because, down here in Georgia, it's not a bad place. It's not every fighter. But all it takes is one person to go up here and start spreading some bullshit, and they expect me to be quiet about it. I'm talking boxing. I'm talking about social media shit. when we was in the gym and Jahi Tucker and freaking Norman, the sparring before the fame, I didn't put that shit out there. I sent it to the team. I sent it over there to Shot News. I said, hey, if you want the sparring, you can deal with the sparring. I wasn't all about chasing that clout. They was the one came down here to spar. They asked, how can we set up some sparring? And I helped set it up. But when you see, people acting like you never did anything, you have to remind them. You have to go to the old vintage Roy Jones Jr. and say, y'all must have forgot. Because when I was volunteering to go to these gyms and show up and take pictures and do interviews, I wasn't going in there with my palms to the sky. I was asking, could I gain entry? Could I gain access? And I'm doing you a service. I'm talking about covering a lot of these fighters that wasn't even gaining any traction in boxing. I was there before the fame. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Within myself, some of us feel really good. Like, oh no, everybody's meter. You know what I'm saying? Like their respect meter is different when it comes to putting in work. You know how some people go about certain jobs and they say, you know what? I don't want anything given to me. I really want to earn it. I feel better if I earn it and if I learn shit myself. And I get to a certain point and I say, damn, I earned this shit right here. I feel good. I mean, that's how I feel about it. So when I look back at the work that I was putting in down here, I do have some photos of fighters that they'll never think I had. I'm talking about in the dark places, in the regional freaking damn boxing arenas and all that shit. I was there. I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was there. No doubt about it. I was covering fighters here in my own city. But the bullshit about it is they tried to tell me. This was fighters. They tried to tell me. I say two fighters tried to tell me straight up. And then I had a coach tell me. You know what I'm saying? And I took their advice and I moved how I moved. And yep, then it all came down. You know what I'm saying? It all came down, baby. Yeah. I remember the time when the talking started walking. You know what I'm saying? The talking started walking. Any other time, WCS is out here moving and moving, you don't hear shit. People barely, they barely want to congratulate you or give you shout out when you on live in another state. Look, I'm paying this shit out of my pocket, doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm grinding, yo. They don't want to give you credit. Some of these cats back then didn't even want to jump on your live and leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? They every other week they were seeing me in a different place. But it all came to a head, boy. When some people tried to play me, all because all of a sudden a fighter came out of Georgia. Look, I can go through my vault and pull out umpteen amount of goddamn fight. Look, we're talking about a nigga like me. I covered a Sugarbird amateur card by my fucking self. I took pictures of 21 bouts of amateurs. Dolo on the ring apron for 21 fights. You know what this nigga had the nerve? Somebody had the nerve to tell me that they wanted me to give up my footage because I said, what the hell? I'm coming here to take pictures for. I said, when I come in here, it's my footage, it's my camera. I'm the one stood up there. I'm not giving you my footage. Not everybody's gonna be receptive to you, but I shot several amateur cars down here. Dolo. But you know when it all changes, when the goddamn, Cool Cat, don't have no problem with DeAndre. No problem with this cat. He was cool. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to him. Good peoples, bro. Good peoples. Real talk. Very professional. But when Jahi Tucker fought DeAndre from out of Georgia, and I took pitch and did what I've did several other times before, And I posted them pics up there when Jahi and DeAndre was clashing. You know what was going on in my backyard? They was up here trying to push this once again. You know, these false bias, freaking malicious narratives that I'm from Georgia and I wasn't going for the Georgia fighter. Now all this time now, I've been on the grind, going to these fights. You know, linking up with Shaw News, supporting, because Shaw News is the one that freaking linked me up with Jahi to begin with for the first interview I did. I started going over there taking pictures. All they did was allow me access to do what I was there to do. Wasn't no funny business, none of that shit. But all of a sudden, Jahi fights a fighter out of Georgia, and all of a sudden, this is the dude who served this country for 20 years now. All of a sudden, I hear all this criticism like I'm not supporting fighters in my backyard. Look, y'all, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. All the other times that I was around, and you know, even the video I put out there when Shaw News was Jackal Fitness, all that stuff right there, they didn't care nothing about. They didn't care nothing about, man. They wasn't saying nothing. A lot of these dudes wasn't me on YouTube when we was in Jersey like that. They wasn't even covering. They wasn't even doing anything, bro. They wasn't in the pot, bro. They wasn't in the fighting hole, so to speak. They wasn't in the fighting hole. They wasn't in the trenches. They wasn't doing none of that, y'all. But Tom, a fighter, came out of Georgia to fight Jahi, who was just getting started, yo. You get this hating ass nigga to start spreading false ass narratives. I said, wow. No matter what you do, sometime for one of your own, they'll be the one, like I always say, to tear down what they never help you build. And that's exactly what happened in WCS. They try to come up here. Look, this is the dude who been in combat, bro. They try to take all that away, regardless of what I did out here in the streets. Look, if they see me today, they'll sit up here and try to put a prorated value on the work that I put in on these streets. Not knowing when I was covering the amateur cars, they didn't even know I was covering the amateur cars. I didn't go live. I went there. I'm sitting chilling. I paid for my food. They didn't give me nothing free. Even though I was helping giving their fighters exposure, they didn't give me nothing free. Boom, snap, 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 gone, out. Shoot the email to the promoter. Thank you for allowing me to cover your event. No problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. We look to see you going. I mean, call down to the amateur tournaments that I did. The video that I put up. Or no, that didn't. That was too long. That one was too long. But me going back and forth down to South Carolina to cover the amateur tournament 2 to 3 times a year. I wasn't going live on that. But back to the GA though. Back to the GA part of it. When you out here grinding and you used to taking orders and delegating orders, you know, to get the mission accomplished. And people don't need to tell you what to do. And you're moving in silence. When you hear people start to, you know, chatter about situations they don't have, like when the chatter came from, you know, with DeAndre Smith and Jahi Tucker, they had like I was a freaking matchmaker. I wasn't the matchmaker to that fight. I wasn't the matchmaker, bro. Like I said before, when that sparring went down, I didn't put it out there. So how am I doing something that you never, you know, experienced before? How am I crossing the line? How how do you think I'm not going to return fire? How? You know, y'all sitting up here acting like people don't talk. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed because they totally underestimate what was going on. They took one fight that I was out there covering a fighter that allows you to fluently go and do your job and shout out the Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shot News for getting his fighter, you know, Jahi signed to J Prince. Shout out to all them moving parts out there. I never knew who DeAndre Smith was, but I started to hear this chatter that you're not supporting your fighters out your own backyard. What? Look, check this out. I heard a person say, yeah, Jahi Tucker's going to be fighting DeAndre Smith. I hope Scotty, you know, do what's right and cover DeAndre. I was like, what? I never even heard of him before. And then when I finally talked to him, I seen him with Vic, and I've covered some of Vic's other cards before. So I said, hey, what's going on, man? You know, I introduced myself. He was cool. And I kind of had a conversation with him. And I said, man, I don't remember seeing you at all. He said, I seen you one time over there at Philippe Boxing Gym. And that's another gym that I go over there because that was Carlos' previous gym before he switched and transitioned to another gym. So I used to go over there. I don't remember him because most of the time when I went up there, I was covering strictly Carlos and Michael Seals at some point in time and whoever else that was up there. But I don't remember. He said, yeah, probably because I had locks. He said something to that extent. I say, okay, now he got short hair like me. You know what I'm saying? How people be hating. So I'm like, that's why I really didn't remember when he was talking to him, but I still interviewed him. I still gave the brother the interview. You know what I'm saying? Professionalism. I still gave him the interview, talked about boxing, and we were straight. But then people telling me all this nonsense that's being talking online is just hating ass niggas not even want to give you your credit for even being in that area to begin with. I'm over there on the strength that, you know, I'm covering another Top Rank card, which none of these cats helped me get credentials. I'm over there covering, you know, Jahi and him stepping in the ring again. Of course, I am. No, it ain't nothing to it. Yes, I was over there covering him and other fighters, but primarily him on the personal side of it. But like I said before, none of these cats was goddamn donating. You know, none of these cats was giving any type of freaking voluntary, you know, help with the expenses. None of that. You be telling stuff on, you know, telling people, so, hey, I'm going over here to this fight. They wasn't giving, you know, voluntary super chat or cash apps. So when this whole fight ended and Jahi stopped, it's all this drama, and I don't have no idea. Now I'm being linked up with Team Tucker, like I'm against some freaking blossoming rivalry that I have no idea that's going on from Georgia. Like, whoever knew that all the drama would be for naught? Because I never had no issues with, you know, any of these people that has a problem talking that I was up here supporting fighters. Yeah, I was supporting fighters outside of my state, just as if I was supporting them in my state. But at that time, I was supporting heavy, and still is, you know, Jahi Tucker. So how can these cats go up here and try to make up these storylines and say, I don't fuck with the fighters down here in Georgia because I'm putting out all these frames that you have to have credentials. You have to have media credentials. None of these dudes gave a phone call to help me get credentials. So how can you sit up here and tear down what I've been building up myself, been climbing this ladder? How can you help me? How can you try to tear it down in my own city with people who did 2% of the work? Haven't did 2% of the work. But I understand everybody have their activate button. They love a certain type of individual. I get it. I'm not the one that's gonna be up here rah-rahing and, kissing ass. I get it. I get it. But all those times where people were just seeing you in pass and weren't paying attention, now you have to remind them, yeah, you was in the shadows. You was up there snapping the photos. You wasn't there trying to damn carry on conversations and ask them to buy you a freaking Happy Meal. Just get me a Whopper, dog. Just go ahead and give me a Whopper. I just like them Whoppers. There's something special about them Whoppers. Man, go ahead and give me a catfish dinner, man, with some shrimp fried rice, man, please. Man, I'm covering your fighter, man. Do something. Damn. That wasn't me. But nobody down here can say that I started any of this shit. No, the disrespect came when motherfuckers trying to act like I didn't serve my country and trying to act like this is a different military. Boxing is a military, and they want to turn around and act like you was trying to freaking pass on secrets to somebody else in another freaking boxing country. You know what I'm saying? They was acting like, hey, man, don't trust him. He's over there covering Jahi. We just had a Georgia fighter go over there. He wasn't covering him the whole time. I didn't even know the guy was on the card. Didn't know who he was. But you know what I did know? I did know that was about two individuals that was really instigating the energy. Look, it's cool if I was to be hanging around and continue to do something. I mean, how many times do somebody supposed to see your face to know that you're putting in work? How many times does it take for a grown adult to see your face knowing that you're putting in work? It don't take that long, right? So if somebody's able to prove that their cognitive mechanics are there, their functional skills, and they can process, situations, they can say, okay, they're taking initiative. They're being proactive. When somebody say you can come to the gym and you there ahead of time, you set up, you treat them professionally, then all of a sudden you get shitted on for doing your job outside of your region. And see, the bad part is when it might come from a person that believes that they can dictate what you do with your content. No, you can't dictate what I do with my content if you're not contributing to me getting the content. If the content that I have, I drove several 100 miles to get there, and I got the content, and you feel some type of way about how the content turned out, but yet these people don't want to admit that they stabbed you in the back because WCS did not remove the content. Real talk. How does people get upset with someone and talk ill about them when they was doing well and they was showing up and supporting? How many times so a person can support you 20 times, but you think you're in control of something that you didn't help build, so the one time that you think you can dictate the content that they've gotten and they don't do it, you just wipe away the entire 20 times that they've been there. Lens in the moment, lens in the moment, shutter ganging it. Yeah, that's called selfishness right there. So that's how it all changed down here, y'all. Yeah, it kind of happened before that, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But when that fight happened with Jahi Tucker fighting a fighter out of Georgia, because you notice he hasn't had another fight from a fighter out of Georgia. I'm just saying that one moment amongst, other little tit for tat, it's a dirty game because certain people you feel like if they would have been occupied and they would have been focused on whatever else they had to do in the gym, they wouldn't have time to be trying to shut down people and make up all these lies. If you tell me somebody said something about me and it was a post and you can't prove the post, I'm saying screenshot the post, I'm calling bullshit on that. Yeah, I am. Because now you putting stuff out there to the world, but yet they feed you a spoonful of an apology, and then they think that's just supposed to, you know, give you a bouquet of flowers that you don't see. Hey man, I gave you your flowers. That's it. You know what I'm saying? No, why shit on the person to begin with? If they out here doing the work, they doing the work. That's what I'm doing. I'm out here doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Jahi just happened to have one of those dominating performances. He went in there and danced. You know what I'm saying? Dominated. And like I said before, the energy, the type of energy they put between them two wasn't even it. They showed great sportsmanship towards each other. Like I said, DeAndre was cool people. But at home though, they was up here just talking and talking and talking, bro. And then you see people that was before, like I said, they see you out there and they'll make a comment. Hey man, you doing a great job out there, man. Hey man, it's good to see you out there. Man, you everywhere. And you doing this, you doing that. But you trying to tell me one fighter that these people didn't know I was gonna be over there now. One fighter is over there from your state that's fighting a fighter that you covered. And all of a sudden you get shitted on because of a fighter's coming out your city and you didn't know who he was? And you've been covering another fighter? I've been covering Tucker already. And you got hating ass niggas up here trying to blow it up to something that is not? If I don't know somebody, how can I get to know them in the spare of the moment? What were they expecting to happen? When he came on deck, I supposed to switch up and say, hey man, I'm covering you. You from Georgia. You know how many fighters I've covered from Georgia? Have y'all ever covered some amateurs who went up to freaking Paul Williams gym in North Augusta? Have y'all went up to Team Punisher and showed them love and covered some fights and watched them train? I have. I have several times. Yes, I have. I mean, I was close to Georgia. I don't remember y'all dropping those super chats when I was out here and I was showing up at these fights and I'm putting out little lives out there dolo. I'm taking all these frames. Shut the gang. Video, you know, interviewing Roy Jones about the situation that was going on with what he said about Errol Spence at the time. Me and him was chopping it up in Augusta, North Augusta. You know, just the whole freaking fight card in general. I don't remember these motherfuckers sliding me an envelope. But at this point in my life, you think I'm not gonna remind you of what the work I put in when people out here trying to shit on you? How can you say your city ain't supporting and they are? You had a nigga down here supporting, active, not on schedule, don't have no work schedule, supporting. But yet, it take one to say some bullshit and start spreading false ass shit. Oh man, that nigga bitch ass nigga. Fuck. What makes a nigga a bitch ass nigga, man? Especially when it comes to boxing content. I think the most selfish thing ever is the for somebody to retaliate against you for not taking down content and talking to niggas that's talking to me. Because a lot of niggas don't know shit about me and they don't consider me to be an asshole at all. But at the end of the day, I think it's entirely selfish if someone's trying to dictate what you do with your content. And if you don't do it, then there's repercussions. They're going to try to find some way to put obstacles on your way. Then you get to a point where you're a part of something you don't know what the fuck going on and you got to fight out your city. And all of a sudden, I get pushed up against another fighter from my city as if I'm not supporting them no more. What happened when I was supporting them though? What donations did I get? I didn't ask for shit. What donations did I get? Man, I was showing up and now I got them doing what I'm supposed to do. But now we got so much bitch assness of new niggas that's thinking they really know how to run the media game. They can't cover a fight week. That's the crazy part about it. They have no idea about the protocol on how to cover a fight week. Let's just say they go up there to cover their fighter. They don't know how to cover their fighter and cover the whole, the rest of the fight card, a dip in and out. They're not built for it. They don't have the energy. They ain't motivated. They just dare to take a couple pictures and go some places. Hey, this is where I'm at. It's a lot of them part-time niggas is up here believing they doing something. Run circles around these bitches. They can't do no media shit. Everybody thought this shit was cool until they attempted to do it. They found out it was so freaking easy to get behind the mic and hear people and see people doing it. And then when it came time for them to do it, all they can do, let me see how I operate this phone. Okay, if I could take a selfie, let me take a selfie right here. Oh man, Scotty over there covering Jahi again. And nigga, he got boxes in his own city he don't cover. Who? Name them. Name them. I was at the fight out right outside the 20. I don't remember seeing all these freaking so-called content creators down here covering those fights without a big name being on it. At the Harley Davidson freaking motorcycle center, the rings was outside. It was mixed martial arts and boxing. I don't remember seeing people covering those fights, but I did get to see a special moment though. Real talk. I see. I got some special moments. I did get to see all the Lopez brothers together. You know what I'm saying? Najee, Tito, Casey, and Lopez Sr. You run into special moments like that. Big names down here in Georgia. You do get to run in the special moments like that. I ran into the Sniper Rainey, who fought at Bellator before. Been in there with the likes of Michael Venom Page and some other big names. He was also there. In MMA side of the house. I mean, I just didn't see these cats going around in these little small venues. Even at Buckhead Fight Club. I've been there several times. I didn't see them, bro. You know why I didn't see them? Because they weren't there. They weren't there consistently, bro. They didn't want to go up there. Now, they done beautified it. They said, hey, about time Georgia done put Overtime Arena up there. Now we hosting consistent boxing matches down here. Now they want to go over the Overtime, which is doing an outstanding job down here in Georgia, putting these fighters on the card. Before Overtime was really popping, it's still fight venues that go on down here in Georgia. And I didn't see any of these, these cats is claiming that they're doing the same thing. Like, a lot of these dudes don't travel. They don't go to a card and cover somebody that's not big. Anybody can go and take a freaking selfie picture and say, I'm right here. That's not doing boxing media, bro. That's just you just attending a fight. The boxing media shit has changed so much that they're trying to find another way for the ants that's doing this pro bono. I've been guilty of that. I'm social media, YouTube media, boxing media, doing stuff pro bono, but I've slowed down though for a reason, because you find out you're not in control of certain platforms that restrict your freaking growth. And also the way that some of these freaking promoters are working it, they're getting dudes out the music industry. They're just getting people that don't know nothing about boxing too much and just going off the views. Somebody who can do an interview. A lot of people can do an interview, but really if you go in depth about what they actually know about the fighter, outside of producer notes and what they team gathered, it gets a little shady for them. Yeah, people can take what's on the surface. Yeah, hey, so-and-so, he just fought this person. Talk about that. Talk about, they just go around and check and see what the hot topics. And you'll find out a lot of these cats just repeat, what's the hot topics? What's the rumor mill? What happened in sparring over here? What happened at this fight right here? That's all. You just hear producer notes, fillers. That's it. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted like I'm not supposed to remind you all that's out here tripping and talking all that ill will. Like, what does a nigga do so bad when it comes to this boxing game? The sport already crazy. But you hear people saying that, nobody supports you in your city, but the nigga that was supporting you heavy, you shit on him because of my activity outside of the Georgia region. Not only that, the other cats that you do for down here, and it's not all the boxers, but some who feel they have enough presence and know enough boxers to pass that spoon of bullshit from one hand to the other. All they doing is feeding them some bullshit and telling them some lies. Oh, so and so WCS, he be hating. WCS be. They ain't never gave me shit. They ain't never gave me nothing enough to say, oh man, I should be kissing his ass. I ain't never kissed nobody's ass, bro. But this shit has gotten out of hand, unfortunately. They don't know the maturity of it. It's shit I've heard offline. I never would mention. But some niggas you tell in this industry today, in this media game, you tell it offline, they want to goddamn do a live stream on it. I don't need to talk about my catalog. It speaks for itself, bro. Listen, if these niggas continue to wake up every morning believing that my life, what I'm saying, the traction that I have in life depends on how many times that I come on, like once a day or sometime like, twice, whatever my schedule is. If you think this online shit dictates, I mean, you must be the dumbest person ever. If you think me logging, me getting online doing a thumbnail dictates how I move day to day. It's sad. It's sad because when I took that lonely ride to PI at 9, look, I left at 9:30, around 9:30 p.m., sat in the airport for hours and then rolled up to PI like 1:45 in the a.m. to step on the yellow footprints. 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I don't know where these niggas was at. Because right then and there, my plan was to get away from the city, or else I would have been in the system, and do something productive with my life. I've done that. And in this boxing game, I feel that my work has been productive in its own way too. So, being that you know what your work ethic is, never allow somebody to say, I'm going to give you 2 flowers. Because I don't like flowers. You know why? Because flowers die off. I'm going to give you 2 flowers knowing that they'll be dead in a couple of weeks. I'm like, don't give me no flowers. Hey, females tell you, I'm going to waste my money on flowers. I'd rather, get you something that can last for you. Period. Hold on for a second, y'all. I'm back, man. Let me get over here to this chat right quick. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden on deck. Mr. International Toby Bartlett in the building. Arnold Brown on deck. What's good? What's good? Smoke Session Sports and Entertainment. What's good with you? Salute. See you in the building. I mean, okay. So good question, man. You know, Christopher White said, if the money is right, would you sell the footage? Of course. I mean, what you in it for? You know what I'm saying? You got to be in it for something productive, right? So you stacking up hard drives after hard drives of footage, vintage, you know, footage of boxers before they became who they are. I do have that. You know what I'm saying? I even have great footage when Abdullah Mason becomes champion. Tank Davis become champion. I have footage before the fame. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not with Tank. He was already a champion, and he wasn't a 3 division champion yet. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a 3 division champion, but as a 2 division champion. You know, a lot of people don't know. Me and Tank was on the same flight. I offered to do my first class. I had, you know, much respect to Team Davis. You know what I'm saying? He was back there because I guess he missed his flight. You know what I'm saying? And I was gonna, you know, I told him he turned it down, which is cool. He wasn't asked about it. He was cool. He was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." So you know, I was riding in first class. So I said, "All right, cool, cool." We had a 4 hour layover, man. You know, a 4 hour layover. Cats don't cats to sit up here and when Tank come down here to spar, oh, it's okay for them to go. I want to see Tank spar, and so he going down here to see Brian Norman. I want to see that. Of course you do. I do too. Tank is not down here in Atlanta, but he showed the ATL love. What's the difference? You gonna shit on me because a fight that happened outside over there in New York with Tucker? But yet Tank come down here, you know, and he from BMO, and y'all want to see that sparring? And then what tripped me out, how certain people thought I wouldn't find out about the Bud sparring. Look, they didn't even tell me Bud was coming down here. Hey, they know I rock heavy with Bud, and they attempt to just slide up in there. So when they got there and saw me there, it's like they probably said to themselves, "Oh, I wonder how he got here." Because hey, somebody dropped that bug in my ear. Hey, Bud gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Bud and a lot of other people gonna be in the gym if you want to pull up. But the ones you did work for already, the ones you don't put in work for, wouldn't even let you know that a fighter that you rock with heavy is gonna be in your backyard because your crew is down here fighting Jamel Herring. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Shout out to the boxing queen Jessica in the building. What's good with it, Jessica? How you feeling? Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. Salute to you, brother. So I hate when brothers lie on your name. Man, you know, like, look, I've been around boxing long enough to know that humans gonna be humans. You know, some people have good spirit about themselves, and even if they don't like you, and they feel like it's not really a good, solid reason as to why they don't like you, they don't do anything to affect what you have going on. But no, 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 no. That's exactly where I have to continue to speak up about it because I'm like, when you put somebody's name out there to the public and they start to and that people have influence and you really rock with these people, like, you got respect for them. I'm like, damn, dog. You have to keep on stepping, man. You have to let people know that it's a lot of boxers out here before the fame that you showed love to and you supported them like it didn't matter. You support them like, yeah, they down there in the A, they down in Decatur or whatever, and you lens in the moment. I mean, I have countless fighters, man, from down this way that I've shot in different locations. Countless fighters down here in the A that I've shot at different locations, man. So nobody can say I just shot one fighter down here in the A. I shot more fighters down here in the A than I did outside of the region. that I supposed to rock heavy. Everybody know I rode with the Williams. I was supporting Board one to 150. Yeah, I was with them on the road. Yeah, I used to drive up to North Carolina. Used to drive up to Alabama. Yeah, man. Yeah, South Carolina. I was rolling with them. I mean, I was going to these fights, man, down there going to sparring. You know what I'm saying? Checking out these sparring, down there at Bodyhead Island. You know what I'm saying? Been all over the place. But just to see people just crap on you, bro, just because it's easy, because that's what boxing does. A lot of people shit on each other. It's a level of disrespect. Like if you're not in the Good Boy Network, or you're an older cat that don't kiss ass or something, or whatever it is, people try to think it's a competition. It ain't a competition. Bro, I haven't, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had a job since I was like 38, man. I'm in my 50s. I'm thanking God for that blessing. It was tough. 20 years in the Corps ain't tough. I mean, ain't easy. It's tough. I shouldn't have to. And yeah, I'm not gonna ask for permission to goddamn. I didn't raise my channel up no vet. Nobody see no Devil Dog, no Marine Corps shit up here in my emblem, and none of that. I didn't build my channel up off U.S. Marine Corps. I built it up off World Combat Sports. You know what I'm saying? I don't care either way. Like if I have 200, 300, or 2 to 3, it don't make a difference to me. I don't control the platform I'm on. I'm not on freaking satellite TV. Look, the crazy part about it, for some of these cats, they have given up having a career with benefits to be able to set themselves up for retirement, 65, 70, whatever they choose to retire. They have basically committed themselves to a system, once again, that doesn't have any retirement packages or benefits, no medical, no nothing. They have committed to saying, I'm just gonna ride this till the wheels fall and I'll think about it later. I'm still young enough to Any job you get this damn time, you gotta do at least about 25 years as a civilian. 25 years to get some type of retirement, 25, 30 years. So if you're 35, tack on 30 to that. Are you ready for that? You ready to start a new job? The older you get, the less qualified you are to have some of these positions. A lot of dudes ain't worried about that. The wild part about it, as I grow, as they grow, you get to see people age in front of you, and they don't even have a freaking career job to retire. They freaking jeopardize that trying to be the ultimate YouTuber, yo. You got some dudes on here that's in trouble. You got some cats on here that don't even have a job, a career, that they're putting in tenure to retire at a certain date. That's another thing. I'd be so available for shit that's popping off down here. I was on my own schedule. What more can you ask for? I go, sure, I can be there. Boom, I'm there ahead of time, set up this, that, and the other. I showed nothing but respect for the coaches when they let me in the gym. They fight it, but goddamn it, I swear, bro, all it takes is one person that they may have known longer than me to go up here and start saying some bullshit. I'm like, huh? That's how much it takes. It don't matter if I'm a United States veteran, right? I'm black. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter I did something more than what I'm doing here. It doesn't matter that I can't talk about, all the other stuff that wasn't beneficial to my life. I served my MF in country, right? And people try to downplay that shit like it ain't nothing. Hey, it ain't no way in hell you gonna convince me that it ain't nothing. Every time I wake up, I'm thankful. You ain't gonna convince me that it ain't nothing. I never shit on people that's getting up and going to work and making a living for themselves towards retirement for their family. But the ones who don't and chose to rededicate themselves to this YouTube shit and just say, fuck it, I ain't worrying about the other job. I'm just gonna ride this till the wheels fall off. Good luck. Good luck, nigga. You're not smart, man. Y'all are not smart at all. Real talk, man. There's some cats out there that hate on you just because you are retired. But they've gotten so wrapped up in the social media game that they've caused it's caused them to jeopardize their employment. Dude, I can name you 10 freaking content creators that got terminated for shit they was doing on freaking social media. I'm serious, bro. I'm dead ass serious, man. You say to yourself, what the fuck are you doing? You can't stop going online and you have a job? Like, just think about this. The percentage that is taken off on the platform that you're operating from, and the taxes that you have to pay at the end of the calendar year when it's time for you to file. So really, it's a pretty good, chunk that's coming out what you earn on here, right? So let's just say you have some individuals that's earning $2,000 a month. Let's just say you're earning $2,000 a month. You get paid on the 20th and you're earning $2,000 a month, right? $2,000 you're getting in your pocket. A portion of that at the end of that calendar year, because shit fluctuates. Let's just level it off. 2 times 12 is 24. In this case, it'll be 24,000, right? It'll be 24,000, right? Uncle Sam is getting his piece. When you start to get to a point where your health isn't doing the way it's supposed to, what about the medical that you buying into? You taking medical and paying out that $2,000. You're taking some other stuff and paying out there. I remember light skin over there. The one that loved the barefoot to be drinking out of 2 bottles at one time. I remember he told me he make more money than I do. And see, I can never respect a nigga like that because he's the one that doesn't get it. The people that go over there and say he make more money than people. There's a lot of people that choose to take that freaking trail and talk about money as the status quo. But when I present them the question, can you retire today? Please do. And continue to support your family. They can't do it. So why are you talking about making more money than me and believing that is a gauge for how you should respect another adult, another content creator, a person that's putting in more work than you? I'm just saying, you hear people all the time talk about, I make this, you have this many followers. If those followers are benefiting you in the boxing game, why haven't you just quit working? I mean, y'all, a lot of you niggas is in your 40s. Have you taken 10 years off work and still have medical and dental? I'm just saying, have you taken 10 years off yet, minimal? And say, I can still go and get medical treatment if I need it. I mean, can you? If you need some type of freaking medicine, can you just call it up or go online and they send it to you? Is your copay $5? I'm serious. Is your copay $5, $2, and not at all? If that's not the case, maybe you should think before coming over here to WCS and thinking money is what controls my movement every time I get on here and talk something I love. Granted, I've told you all that I just don't do boxing. I take time and watch MMA also. I take time and watch these BJJ tournaments. Love it. So if you want to say I'm not 100% dedicated to the sport of boxing when it comes to media, absolutely. There's no way I can be 100%. It's no way that I be over here and fool myself and think I can learn everything about boxing. But I know enough to fill the cup. You feel me? I know enough to fill the cup. Just like with mixed martial arts, I love having conversation with cats that cover boxing and mixed martial arts. And also if they dive into the grappling aspect of it. But the hating ass shit, man, I don't have time for it. I will put my shit out there though. I will put it out there and you know, let people know at the end of the day, it's some fighters out here I know before the fame. I know fighters out here that I was covering when they was champion. Yeah, and I keep on saying it too. Because they busy talking about some other bullshit. And I say, well, why you don't have what I have though? If y'all say y'all been covering boxing 25 damn years, how long did it take for y'all to get on YouTube? Why y'all ain't been out here in the grind, you know, putting in this work? Y'all have for hotel cards? Have y'all paid for your own room? Have y'all went to fight cards and had to pay for your own room, your food, your flight back? Nobody at the fight paid you anything to come out there and cover. Have y'all did that? Have you went to Wilmington, North Carolina and covered the amateur card? And people tell you, man, what you doing out here? We see you up there top ranked PBC. I said, I'm coming here to cover the amateur card. And they be in total shock. They say, oh shit. You drove up here? Yeah, I drove up here from Atlanta. Then the shit travels differently. And the point I'm trying to make is people can shit on you in your backyard, but those outside of that, they know what you're about because they done seen you on deck. Boxing is bigger than just one particular region. It just makes you feel some type of way that they'll even try to, you know, present you in your region like that after they done seen you around. They know all the work you done put in around the different regions. And they want to act like it never happened. I was covering boxing in North Carolina before it was shut down. Before it was fucking shut down. Have you covered a Christy Martin card down in Florida? I have. Some people that stay down in Florida, I ain't seen you at no Christy Martin card. I know some cards down there in Florida that Roy Jones had a fighter on. I didn't see them cats there covering. I didn't see it, bro. I'm just being honest. I didn't see a lot of these cats that's on here covering some fights down in Florida when I was down there. I didn't see them. I mean, how many regions do I have to, you know, name drop for people to understand it? Because if I post a pic up there, right? If I post a pic up there, people really don't know where that pic came from. Because I got some pics, Tunica, Mississippi, for example. People don't understand. You go to some of these regional cards and the lighting is different. So depending on your equipment, you have to adjust your settings to make sure you can actually shoot the fighter accordingly so you can get a decent shot. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you speed up your aperture, so the shots between two fighters won't be blurry. What it does, your aperture speeds up and it takes in less light each time you shoot. So therefore, you have to adjust your ISO too. Nobody taught me this. I learned this all on my own. So when you go in there with certain equipment, you have to make sure you know how to adjust your shutter speed and your motherfucking ISO. How much you should open or close your lens, and also the lighting, the box as they call it, the lighting that they have over the ring, the box. Everybody's lighting is different. So you have to understand if you down on the ring or you up on the ring, how that's going to affect some of your shots if you're shooting directly into a light. Come on, bro. Come on now. Come on, bro. I've shot, look, people say I be shitting on the PBC. I shot ringside for PBC, bro. I'm the only freaking content creator here got a PBC jacket when they was attached to Showtime and Fox. And you want me to allow you to act like I ain't did shit? It ain't another content creator on here that has authentic, legitimate from PBC receipts from PBC with my name on it and everything now. My name on it when they was linked up with Fox and Showtime. It ain't nobody else that can present that now. You know why? Because it don't exist. Showtime is gone, Fox is gone. But I got a vintage collector's item. Hey man, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Latch Puma in the building. What's good with it, Puma? What it do, man? Sir Senior on deck. Salute to you. Christopher said, "How was the buffet?" It was good, man. I don't depending on where I'm at, you really don't have to, do the buffet because sometimes you meet and those women that you meet that time, they'll say, "Are you going to that fight over here?" You say, "Yeah, I'll be over there." Okay, I'll meet you when you get there. You know what I'm saying? So if you was planning on going out there in the city, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have it right there. It's already prepared. The table set. Real talk. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Some females be coming out there with the boxing teams and shit for whatever reason. I have no idea. They be doing their own thing. You would be amazed at what goes on in these fight cards, bro. That area, I'm gonna stay. I'm just saying, you would be amazed, bro. It's easy. It's easy, especially in man Florida. You go to these little towns like South Carolina and North, man, South Carolina. Oh my God, it's just too easy. They be wanting you to come back up there. Hey, you only in Georgia? Come up here and visit. Now, once you come up there and visit, you end up popping out them babies, man. You know what I'm saying? They start popping out them babies, man. You going up there chilling too much, man. It's not what you make, it's what you save. Yeah, yeah. But it's also what you can survive off of too. With paying your bills is also what is the percentage of your income that's being delegated to your expenses. You know what I'm saying? Expenses is very important. I'm not telling anyone not to live, but when it comes to this monetary, I don't know what to call it. What's this monetary um epidemic that's going on where people act like this type of service is going to be forever? Look, those of you that's listening, this is just like boxing. Boxing, you can make money in the sport, a part of the system. The YTC is part of a system. Boxing is a part of the system, but none of them have freaking retirement packages. They don't have lifetime pension plans. You're not investing in Social Security. This is not considered a sense of employment that you're putting money into Social Security. What happens when you don't have this anymore? Can you get unemployment? That's all I'm saying, bro. Look, that's all I'm saying. Can you put in for unemployment if you get freaking demonetized here? You can't, man. You cannot. You can't. You can't put in for unemployment, getting demonetized here. You can't do none of that, man. You got cats with one or two channels. It don't matter how many channels you got, bro. What you gonna do once you get in your 50s and 60s? Now, I'm gonna be honest with the cat. You heard Lat says it's all about what you save. Anybody knows that inflation is incredibly ballooning. You know what I'm saying? Inflation has showed this, it's become very imposing with everything costing. We are paying for the inflation, what they call it, shrinkage inflation. We're buying the product for more money with less quantity internal to the package. You know what I'm saying? We have shrinkage inflation going on with just the food we buy on a regularity. I'm just putting it out there. So the money that you save, you're gonna have to definitely know how long is that gonna last me to support myself. Are you gonna have a mortgage? Are you in an apartment? Are you gonna be paying rent? Do you have a car note? Do you your car paid off to the point where you don't have to have full coverage no more? Do you want to have just liability? Man, a lot of that shit plays into, if you ain't never had no job that you was making six figures and 150, 200,000, and you just been stacking money, you been in the stocks, something that can generate, residual income, right? If you ain't did that, how are you gonna survive for the rest of your life? Yeah, I've heard it all. I ain't gonna lie. I heard it all. Real talk. I heard it all. I don't really get into those numbers shit. You just better be thankful to God that you're able to, support yourself and those around you um that's within your realm of responsibility. That's what matters most to me. But at the end of the day, this YouTube shit, when it comes to people shitting on you all the time, you gotta say to yourself, damn. I mean, I remember when I was putting fighters out there on IG that was amateurs, and people's like, I don't know who that is. Who are that? And then if they don't know it, they was trying to call some fighters some bums, thinking they was professional, and they wasn't even professional fighters. They was amateurs, bro. I was just taking a picture. You take a picture of two fighters with gloves on. You know what I'm saying? They say, who is that? Nobody know who that is. Well, that's a bum or something? No, it's two amateurs that just finished fighting. That's who they are. You putting it out there. And there's a lot of amateurs grab pictures. You know what I'm saying? They grab pictures. I remember I did an amateur show down here, and there was this fighter on here that who was on Facebook, and I ended up reminding him of the conversation that went down on deck because I was back there in the locker room. He tried to say, I didn't care. He was feeling some type of way. You gotta be real. You gotta tread cautiously with some of these fighters because you don't know what their background is. They come from all backgrounds. Some of them be in the system, some been in the streets fighting. It depends. But this dude said that for real, y'all media guys don't care nothing about the fights. Y'all just come here and do this, that. And I said, so if you saying I don't care nothing about the fighters and I'm not getting paid for this, what am I here for? You know what I'm saying? He said, y'all come here because it help y'all channel and help your content. I say, but the work has to be put in though. Nobody knows you. When you want me to put you on a frame or something, and put you out there for somebody to at least see who you was fighting. And one thing about shooting an amateur fight, all the fighters look a little bit the same because they have headgear on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cats on here, they can't say they shot an amateur fight with headgear on because to them, they're not getting any clicks from it. If they shoot frames and have to come back and edit those frames and put them out there with headgear, they say, don't nobody know. Why am I doing this? Don't nobody know these cats. I gotta wait till they turn professional. I gotta wait till they get some buzz behind them. I have to wait till they get some buzz behind them. I remember asking another content creator down here, hey man, let me introduce you to one of these fighters that's popping down here in the A. And wouldn't you know? And wouldn't you know? Hey, you try to bring on some of your own people. Hey man, come on up here, dog. Let me introduce you to them. Man, come on here. You want to shoot? You know what I'm saying? You want to shoot? Let's go over here and shoot, man. The more content, the better. Nah, that wasn't enough, man. That's a whole nother story. That wasn't enough. You bring somebody to the fight, man. You know, and they just try to act like you ain't, a good spirited individual. Crazy, bro. But yeah, I was there for the Norman and Jahi Tucker sparring. Good sparring. You know what I'm saying? That's as far as I'm gonna go with that. You know what I'm saying? It was good sparring. They did 9 rounds. It was good sparring. And um, he was one of the fighters that came down here to the ATL. I know it was mentioned that not many fighters come, and it was hard for Norman to get sparring down here. That's a fact. But for when he said that most fighters don't come down here, Jahi Tucker did come down here to Atlanta and spar him. That's a fact. And the crazy part about it, it wasn't hardly anybody in the gym that evening when he came to spar. That's the crazy part about it. It was the names. Carlos was there, of course, because Carlos is always out there getting work. Carlos was there. Carlos Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, man. He was there. Um, Maybach, Hot Rod was there. Shout out to Hot Rod. He turned me on to a lot of link ups, man. He didn't have to do that shit. And Hot Rod, one of the bigger names down here in the city in life. He didn't have to goddamn link me up, but he did. He linked me up with a couple of big sparring when other people who I thought who knew about it. You know what I'm saying? He linked me up to freaking Albert Bell and freaking the Michael who was in Creed. He linked me up with that sparring. I know I'm the only content creator got that sparring. Think about it. Before they was champions. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to see Albert Bell spar and and it was like looking at the 8 styles of the Kung Fu master, man. It seems like each round he fought a different style. And then the Michael, the come from the grindhouse over there with Coach Mustafa and all them cats that was there to being on Creed, man, this is the beauty part of freaking Lens in the moment. You don't even know what the freaking process is of their itinerary. You got dudes that was in a gym at one point, then they make it to the movie screen. You got Albert Bell, who's well known. You know what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time before he get his title shot, whenever that's gonna be. He in there sparring the Michael, who I've shot a couple of times when he was just starting off in his career. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole damn sequence of events on how that shit play out. Who would have thought that Michael haven't became world champion yet, but Tank Davis co-signed him that he will be a world champion. You had to be there to hear it. Tank Davis co-signed to Michael back in the day that he's gonna be a world champion. The Michael ended up being in Creed, the last Creed. He was over there on the bag. I mean, that's big, dog. And then you had, Yaya and other coach from Georgia on Creed. How can you have people that's on these movies, but yet the cohesiveness, the unity, bro? That just goes to show you shit can happen. Yaya is well established, former world champ. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. GA was repping in Creed, the last Creed. They was repping for real. Yeah, 2 coaches from Granite City Boxing Academy. That's what Terrence Crawford and Tiger Johnson. Even Steven Nelson was there that day. Brian Norman, Terrence Crawford. All of them was there for that spar. I mean, that's what Jahi Tucker and Brian Norman sparred at in that gym. Hey, you never know what the travel is going to be like when you out here covering the sport. But I just didn't see a lot of these cats out there. For real, I didn't see them, yo. That's why I sit there and laugh when they say they want to compare views. And they want to compare the views to your everyday living. I'm like, why would you do that, bro? I mean, that's stupid. Like, this shit is not forever. All it would take for somebody to do something to breach some freaking, you know, internet security, and this shit gets shut down or whatever, and people and it's just a blackout until they're able to get it fixed. People gonna be hurting. They're gonna be hurting, bro, because they don't put all their 100% effort into this system. The talk boxing, which boxing is always gonna be debated. You always gonna have certain people that actually, you know, have boxed or have a boxer or a part of a gym or even father sons, father daughters into boxing. They always going to be around, but with the new way that social media is going, they're going to be very apprehensive about coming over here and really letting their guard down, linking up with a channel when if your freaking daughter or son go up there and take a L, that same channel ain't showing you the same love. I'm like, that would be a reason to get mad at a channel, not the other way around. I'm gonna check some other topics right quick. We still have, the Canelo situation that's coming up next month. Boxing is like at a dead space right now. All you got is back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Let me take this down. Shout out to Team Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do your thing, man. 12-1-1. Continue to go out there and shine. You know what I'm saying? I like the pictures that, was taken with Timothy Bradley. Outside of all the strict criticism that's been given. I like that. You know what I'm saying? But let's go through a couple of these topics, man. Um, Francis Ngannou is back with PFL. He has a fight coming up. His son passed away, but most people only know because they don't follow MMA. They only know him getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and they just said, "No, I'm done with the guy." But he is one of the big dogs that was signed with PFL, so he has a fight coming up, a championship fight at that, not a warm up, championship fight. Um, Shout out to Amari Jones, you know what I'm saying, and his Olympic quest. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. A lot of people are not talking about Amari Jones over there. Shout out to In the Ring with Christine. She don't get enough credit for her work that she does with USA Boxing. But shout out to In the Ring with Christine, one of the hardest working women in the sport. Real talk. Real talk. I don't know how she do it. God damn. But I've known her for quite some time. She's always been a freaking hard worker. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Um, Really boxing, man. As far as big fights and all that Turkey Alley shit, I mean, nobody. I'm not gonna talk about the Floyd Mayweather situation anymore. I'm done with that. Um, it's just, if you go to one boxing, then go to the next, then they talk about, you know, pretty, pretty good enlightened topics like Abdullah Mason's. You know what I'm saying? Abdullah Mason is back in the square against Johan Vasquez. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. Johan Vasquez is very experienced. He's 26-5 and with 21 knockouts. That's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? That's good fight for experience. You know what I'm saying? He has 5 losses, but they say, okay, how do you gauge a fighter? For a step up opponent. Well, these opponents with more experience, they supposed to be they supposed to be equal until they get in the ring, you know what I'm saying, and fight. I'm about to look up and see. Hold on for a second. I'm about to go over here and see. check something out right quick with this guy. So Johan Vasquez is 30 years old. He's not entirely older. So I would assume this obviously him fighting Abdullah Mason is gonna be a level out fight, a 50-50 fight on paper. I'm not saying per skills because Abdullah is shining right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how anyone can dislike Abdullah Mason and his family because they have a very structured family. I really don't know, man. Now, I couldn't tell you. I don't know how somebody can dislike freaking Abdullah Mason. Just like I say, I don't know how somebody can dislike Jahi Tucker unless they don't like him talking his shit. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to talk your shit if you're confident in yourself. But Vasquez is 26-5, 21 knockouts. He's been stopped once, right? And that knockout was recently, December 16, 2023. You know what I'm saying? He was in there for an 8-rounder. So he was in there for an 8-round in New York. He was stopped in the 8th round. Another thing I see, he has had his last 4 fights in the US of A. Let me see if there are any early fights. No, he didn't have any earlier fights. His first fight in the USA was December 2022. So shout out to Abdullah Mason. He's about to go in there with a more experienced fight. Abdullah Mason's 15-0 at the time, 13 knockouts. So this is supposed to be a fight for Abdullah Mason, who's only freaking 20 years old, for a guy 10 years older, his elder. And this guy should be more stronger. He should be more experienced. You know what I'm saying? Abdullah Mason, this should be a 50-50 fight for him. People can't say, well, this guy has experience. So shout out to him going in there against Johan Vasquez, man. The Bellaby versus Bivol. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to that fight right there. That should be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all heard, but Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina will reportedly now headline the Zone's pay-per-view undercard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all heard that, but Terrence Crawford in the mix. Ward's view on the faces of boxing. Every picture that Boxing News 24 put up of Crawford and freaking Madrimov is him getting hit with a punch. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the pictures that they put up there is him getting hit with a punch. Hey, man. Hey, media. The wrong people are hating. They should be hating on these mainstream media because they push very biased content out all the time without even saying a word. They type it. Yo. It's really dead space right now when it comes to boxing. And his hints at positive news for next fight, potential unification with Norman Jr. I mean, I'll wait and see if that's any traction. When people up here talking about talks and talks and talk, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what that's about, man. A hint. Who's going off a hint? I know it's good for freaking language when you're writing articles. Hint. I mean, what's a hint? Who's in talks? When will we know? You know what I'm saying? If this fight is just going to be all talk. Say Brian's dad, senior, said the fight is 99% happening. They're waiting on the top rank to negotiate the deal. So from what I heard, the top rank checked it, but now it has to go for Matchroom. So in my opinion, that's a huge percentage of waiting on Matchroom to see what they have to say, because Eddie Hearns and whoever that's in charge of Ennis over there, they have their own little freaking manifesto for Ennis. And I think the time to attempt to try to unify the division again should be now. I mean, like boxing is hungry, starving for some big fights. And how in the hell are we gonna allow the build up to July 29th, 2023, give us that thrilling, suspenseful moment. And then the old guard moves out, you know what I'm saying? And is getting the belt the way he did. You have you have an entire division of notification champions, right? And no one can say they defeated no one yet. Yeah, they can say they defended the title, but you have a lot of notification champions at 147 pounds. And that's only because of Crawford vacating the straps. So I think now is a perfect time to get these champions um, contractually signed up to fight each other. It'll be good. It'll be great. To be honest with you, it'll be great. But we gotta see what freaking Eddie Hearn's talking about, because shit, man, he come back and do what he want to do, man. They putting out their November 9th Philadelphia IBF and WBO unification bout on Jerron Ennis, Brian Norman Jr. Let's see if it happens, bro. Let's see if it happens. I would like to definitely see that fight. I would definitely like to see that fight. At least that would be one step to unifying the division. And some people say this may be the hardest clash between the four champions. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Who knows how it's gonna play out? We thought 140-pound would be closer for unification after Josh Taylor came off all the other three belts, but it hasn't became any closer. None of them fighters are thinking about fighting one another. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. You have so many new champions that as at 140. You had the King Rolly. Rolly defeated by Isak Cruz. Isak Cruz defeated by El Rayo. Super El Matias take that L. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Alberto Puello end up becoming the WBC champion. The only one that's in place is freaking Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? So out of all the new champions that's up there, you have to say to yourself, Teo should be making the move. Seriously. He only has one loss. Teo should be making the move on some other champions, man. It'll be good to see Rayo and Teo. I don't know if Teo want to fight a much taller fighter like Alberto Puello, being the way he looked against Masayoshi Nakatani. But that's been so long ago, and that's when Nakatani was him. He was 18-0. You know what I'm saying? When's something gonna happen with the 140 pound, 135? I'm just curious. You know what I'm saying? Jamel Charlo came off the belts, and now we have unification two ways. They threw the belt in there for Sebastian Fundora. Boom, he beat Tim Tszyu. Then Crawford moves up. He gets a freaking a unification bout with Madrimov. That's cooking right now. We can't expect nothing from 60. We already know what's going on with 68. He's not even undisputed no more. So it's shaky. And then we look, if we get what we think we're gonna get at 175, then what? Who do we have up there that we want to see, out of the winner? Who do we want to see step up next? Is Benavidez gonna get his shot? We don't know, bro. We don't know. But let's hope that shot. You got the heavyweight that's still out there lingering. Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. We don't know what Devin Haney has going on. I haven't heard yet. But, in my opinion, he should rematch Ryan Garcia ASAP. There's no other fighter he's going to get paid the amount of money that he made with Ryan. Plus, they have a rivalry right now. It don't matter if it dealt with cheating. It doesn't matter, bro. You have a freaking a controversial history with one another. You have a backstory. You have lines that someone can print in an article to build up this fight the right way. Just to say you're never gonna step in the ring with him is absurd, bro. Because you know people still look at the way you took that loss, even though you came out the winner. They still look at it as being physically demanding for you on that night. So if I was Devin, I mean, if I'm not, if I was Devin, I'm just saying example. Go back to Ryan Garcia and build up that fight. You have a lot of more. You have a lot more ammo on him. Him testing positive. His all this other shit he's been doing. His racist tirade and all that. You have a lot of ammo. But a lot more people respect Ryan than they did before they stepped in there before he stepped in there with you the first time because of the way he beat you. That's all. Shout out to Kamel Moten. He went in there for another quick knockout in 55 seconds. The main part I liked about that fight, he didn't take a lot of punishment at all. That other fight, he was getting lit up. There's no way you're gonna have a long career just starting off taking that much punishment. But he was able to get old boy up out of there quick. Two blinks and a sneeze, and he was gone. How was the vibes in the gym? It depends on what gym you go to and how many fighters are in there. You know what I'm saying? The vibes in the gym, every gym is different. The crazy part about it, and when it comes to boxing gyms, you have small gyms, you have big gyms. If you dare to for content, I mean, you just get in where you fit in, and you go in there just like it's freaking the deployment. That's the way I treated it. Like I've been in worse places, so when I went in some of these small gyms, it didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter to me. It's just you go in there to get the content. You just go in there and get the content. You go in there. Some gyms maybe more, have the musty smell, the sweaty smell to it than most. Some gyms may be hot. You know what I'm saying? Very hot. Some maybe have leaky roofs. It all depends. You there to get the content though. Who's that fighter that Tank don't like? The fighter that Tank doesn't like. Who's the fighter that Tank doesn't like? I'm trying to find out. Who is it that Tank doesn't like? I can't put a finger on it, man. I mean, he's had exchanges with so many people. A fighter that Tank doesn't like. I have no idea. I know he's talked about Devin Shakur. Um, Definitely not gonna be Isak Cruz. They was hoping he came in there and performed better than he did against Rayo to get that rematch, but that's not happening right now. I don't know, bro. I don't know the fighter that Tank doesn't like. Who does Tank doesn't like that's been talking shit or something? Let me see. I don't know, man. I can't call it, man. It ain't Ryan Garcia. I don't know, bro. I can't put a finger on it. But hey, I've been over here an hour and a half, man. Yeah, until next time, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Y'all hold it down. And shout out to the ones who support the channel and already know what the grind is like. That's all you need to pay attention to, real talk. And yeah, We're gonna get the schedule back popping sooner or later. But you know, family business come first. Y'all hold the shit down. Continue to support the channel. Much appreciated. One love. I'm out. Peace.